situation first.
Yeah, stream's live.
Stream's live? Oh, baby, are we
There's nothing on the
back?
screen.
Oh.
We're back. We're back.
We're back? We're back. Ladies and gentlemen, it's in the name. It's a promise that we've made from our household to yours, and here we go in the very last seconds of this game, potentially. Huge team fight going down. Actually, Ground Zero Gaming may be overcommitting, but that Volibear is just full health. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. You know what happened. Something odd and technological happened, and we're getting our tech priests on it as best we can to speak to the machine adepts, but I truthfully have no idea what happened. But we're back now, so we don't even have to worry about it.
There was definitely some technology involved, as there's a little bit of technology involved in Volibear going in. Taking off to Zyra.
Just a little bit, and this Varus, my god. Well,
looks like Varus went ahead and picked himself up a Vox pack for only 5 points. He could go ahead and communicate with his jungler to go ahead and get that kill. At this point, that Constellation Tower down at the bottom lane just doesn't feel like much. It's 19 to 9. There's a 10k gold difference, and the 10k gold difference sits on the side that has better scaling, that has the Dragon Soul, and that is pressuring topside to look to end the game. The only key element of their team that isn't here is the Rumble, but it's totally fine for him to just be AFK farming bot because he's got teleport. Cassiopeia has teleport. Their global presence is just going to be infinitely higher for the rest of the game, and at this point, it really just feels like Ground Zero Gaming's game to lose.
100%. And I mean, the ways in which they could throw this are nigh fathomable, but would be incredibly fun to watch if that is how it goes. I mean, we can count them on one hand, right? You basically need to super overdive basically onto pad at this point. Really mess up. Yes.
We're going to put Varus at the front of the fight.
Yes.
We're going to have Volibear playing on the back line, using his passive to deal damage. And then Rumble is going to ult the river because it's scary and we don't like water. Not a big fan of LCS Summer, not a big fan of that promo trailer. So we're going to go ahead and just drop all our ults in the river, make us feel a little bit safer against the water since we don't have floaties. And I feel like Frank's Little Beauties might be an Elder Drake away from winning.
Here we go. And Zyra just immediately goes down in this fight. Blast Cone goes off, unfortunately launches somebody from Frank's Little Beauties right where they don't want to be. And it's a 3 versus 1. But this Leo, this Rumble, so much damage, so much health, so much CC. It's
that smells like a free Elder Drake to me.
100%.
That smells like.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be hard pressed to push the game further once they've got Elder Drake.
Yeah. You don't even really have to reset on the side of Ground Zero Gaming. It looks like Varus just looking like he's trying to troll. Gonna go ahead and extend the game, I guess, as long as he possibly can. But
you never know.
Go ahead and join up with his teammates in mid. Yeah, it looks like they're just gonna be willing to run it down as Rumble. Apparently not willing to run it down with his team. Gonna stay bottom side. And I guess look to continue splitting the map. I mean, at this point, it feels like you're playing the tutorial. It looks like they're just going to go for all the inhibs, but separating here could be risky.
Absolutely.
Risky for the side of Ground Zero.
Yeah, defeat in detail is an option for victory.
Oh, Rumble.
Yeah.
Rumble's looking.
Yeah, yes he is. Yeah, I mean, right now you might as well have one glorious last stand, and at least I'm happy to say that Frank's Little Beauties are on Champions where it's hella fun to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it looks like they are going to go ahead and play tutorial. They're going towards the bottom side. They're not interested in any of the game just yet. They want to go ahead and make sure that every single objective on the map is secured.
Leona is split off here. That's something, but Nunu is going to get tagged and actually knocked out of his ult. Volibear is going to jump right in and flash forward. It is a rough situation to be in. And whoa, there it is by St. Crispin's nose knuckle. Yasuo and Malphite go in to no avail. The Elder buff on display.
Well, the Elder just makes it unfair.
It's true. Yasuo unfortunately not able to be too fancy with his feet right here, but still pretty fancy. God, that Varus animation.
Just gonna get sideswiped by the Varus. The Varus Elder said, hey, I'm gonna keep auto attacking this tower, but I'll lend a bit of an Elder Blast to you. And
It
that's gonna
was
be
style. Game 1 to Ground Zero Gaming. And we are going to get right into Game 2.
This is pretty historical.
Yeah.
This is Frank's Little Beauty's first loss. Big L.
Big L. First loss. Uh, uh, honestly, we've had... Where's the LeChance Mike Fund? Yeah, Dog Hugger, I don't know. Once again, this is probably a great time to say... this is the Low Budget LCS. If you'd like to subscribe or follow... I mean, it's not the best investment, but it's an investment, and sometimes that's nice. Yeah, no, this was Frank's Little Beauty's first loss in a game. We've still got Game 2 to see whether or not how this is going to turn out. But
it'll be interesting to see. I don't know if you saw the damage graphs on that one. You may not only need to subscribe to Low Budget LCS to go ahead and fund LeChance's mic. You may also need to subscribe to fund the Yasuo damage fund. It's incredibly low right now. It's just the beginning of the Kickstarter, so it makes sense that he has the lowest damage on the team. But with a little bit of a helping hand, with a generous cup,
you too.
full of change, you too can change the life of one hungry Yasuo.
And isn't that what neighbors are all about? Helping your neighborly Yasuo. Oh, interesting. Okay, there was some sort of bug with customs where they couldn't. Yes.
I kept them trapped.
You kept them trapped?
And they could not leave.
Exactly. And let's see. Let's give you an invite as well. Still a very fun game to watch. Anytime we get a Yasuo comp. Also, anytime, just like there's something so satisfying about a well-placed Rumble ult, and yeah, it's just a blast. And we're seeing some roster swaps. Yes, a spooky man coming in for the side. Oh, everyone's jumping around. I wonder if we've... Let's just check. Have we filled up the lobby? Do you need me to dance away? Yes, indeed. A classic Frank's Little Beauties play to switch out some players. I don't see why Ground Zero Gaming would change anything up. I think they all played really well.
GZG also a lot easier to scout for this game because they have a consistent 5-man roster. The only mystery element on their team is obviously Banks. Diamond 3 support main. Not really familiar with his prominence in the top lane, doesn't play a lot of it. So the only things that I had to go off of as far as scouting was concerned were the games that he had actually played for GZG on the top side in the LBLCS. So a bit of a mystery man coming out and really showing that, you know what, even Diamond support mains know how to flex it every once in a while, know how to event horizon, the flame horizon, the enemy top laner, as I think the CS may have ended.
Absolutely. That's something worth going back and checking. We'll see. Was Malicious?
Malicious is a new player that was just added to FLB yesterday.
Wow.
And I believe he's a top laner. And you have to imagine Spooky Man coming in place of the ADC for FLB. But the problem is you never really know with this team. They're always going to switch up roles on you and switch up their roster as well. So I can't really say one way or another whether Malicious is actually going to be going topside or whether he's going jungle, whether Bug's going to switch down to ADC. All I know is that these players are in this game. I have no idea where they're going.
They really can do pretty much anything. And we'll see. Okay, we're talking about draft. We're thinking about game 2. We want to come back. We want to make this a 1-1 on the day. Is there anything in particular that you ban out of that composition that GZG just played, or was it not really a champion thing, it was just about play?
So I think that when you look at the depth on GZG's roster, the tools that were banned away from them in the first game were the same tools that they used to execute this composition.
Mm.
So you had Shen banned away from them, Galio, Vladimir, Corki, Trundle, all high scaling champions that can take you into the late game and that require a bit of execution to be successful, but execution that is evidently present on Ground Zero Gaming. So honestly, if I'm Frank's Little Beauties, I don't feel bad about the bans that came out in the first phase.
Sure.
What I feel like needs a little bit of work is the pick phase from Frank's Little Beauties, making sure that they can draft themselves a composition with something of a backup, a late game insurance policy in the form of, say, an Ezreal, a Vagar, even something like an on-hit Varus, something in their composition that's going to make sure that even when the game gets late, they can go ahead and at least contend for team fights, in the same way that they wanted to in that first game, putting everything onto Yasuo. So we're into the pro draft pick ban. We've
We
got the
are
first ban coming out
indeed,
from
and we've
FLB
got it
with
up on the
Galio.
stream as well.
Wonderful. Lux, unsurprising, it's a target ban for the mid laner. Also, apparently there's is there sounds like there's a bit of an echo on the stream.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, do you have it running picture in picture?
Hmm. An excellent question. No, I don't.
Mystery.
A mystery indeed. Let me listen to this. A mystery indeed. Let me listen to this. A mystery indeed. Let me listen.
In the meantime, interestingly enough, nobody on Frank's Little Beauties really that much of a set player, so it's interesting to see them pivot away from the Caitlyn ban. And they didn't ban, or rather, Frank's Little Beauties is going to pick up Shen this time around. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and pick up Shen.
That is a Spooky Man champion.
That is very true. It seems the Spooky Man likes to play a lot of Kled top, so this might be a bait. But again, giving R1 Varus over, it's a strong pick, and Rumble is still available, so you can always just put Banks straight back onto the Rumble and just have him run it back.
Oh no, Rumble was banned.
Oh, Rumble was banned.
Yes,
oh,
absolutely.
Right. Okay.
I was afraid for a minute because I was like, oh, that's right. Rumble would just melt that Shen in that matchup, but no.
Looks like we're going to be putting, Lyronox and the Nub back onto comfort picks. They played the spot lane last game. It worked out for them pretty well. Ashe going to be coming out as the counter to Varus. Presumably going to be an on-hit variant as well of this Ashe. Actually, do I have it in my notes? This is not Droxer's Hail of Blades Triforce Ashe. This is a different kind of Ashe. And Zach being picked up as Bug Sawyer's comfort pick means that Shen is 100% going into the top lane. You're right. That is a Spooky Man pick for the top lane. So it'll be interesting to see as this composition begins to come together. You've got a lot of tanky elements already on the side of Frank's Little Beauties. And like I said before, even though Ashe doesn't deal as much damage as the Varus, you weren't able to pick it up round 1. You go ahead and pick it up B2 after the R1 Varus as an Ashe to go ahead and pick up something of a late damage or a late game damage assurance carry. And Ornn rounding out the first round of picks from GZG. I love Ornn. I think he's a fantastic champion, plays great into the win conditions of Varus and Volibear being banned away from Frank's Little Beauties. I don't think they understand that Volibear is not the reason that they lost last game.
I don't think it was either. I do like that the Volibear ban came out, and then the Yasuo ban came out. So just two respect bans from the last game saying this could be a problem. Maybe.
Yeah. Again, banning away pieces of late game compositions like the Trundle that could come out here. So this R4 is going to be interesting. I'd like to see maybe a jungler so you can save the mid lane pick for a counter, force FLB to go ahead and show their hand face up and maybe round out your composition with a mid pick. Pick up something safe in the jungle like an Echo, something supportive like an Ivern, totally fine. But right now, you've pigeonholed yourself into a composition that has one damage carry.
Right.
Varus. Ivern, Leona, and Ornn essentially are accessories to that damage carry. So Ivern, not exactly something that I've seen on Evo's playlist. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to pilot the champion properly. And do we just see the Zyra Talia run back?
I
Maybe. Zyra
wonder.
already picked up before.
Plead the Fifth is not in this game. That
Ooh.
strikes me as a him champion, but maybe it's gonna be support. I mean, Zyra Ashe is a filthy, filthy lane.
Zyra Ashe still very good, yes.
Yeah, lots of poke, lots of CC, set up some great ganks. This is a very solid composition on the side of Frank's Little Beauty. I love the Orianna here as well. I just love Orianna as a champion in general. Ooh, the Azir.
Interesting.
Azir versus
A control
Orianna.
mage.
Yes. Hmm.
So we've got control mages in the middle lane and Orianna matchup against the Azir. I agree with you. I like Frank's Little Beauty's composition. You have Zac and Shen as very effective frontliners, and one of them has global presence. You also have the Ashe as a late game AD damage on hit carry, and you have the Zyra and the Orianna to round out your composition, give it a lot of AP damage. So in the early game, the side of GZG is going to want to be building more the MR route. A lot more magic resist, which opens it up for your Ashe to not have to build as many high damage items. The on hit is going to be doing quite a bit of work if she's allowed to live in these team fights. We actually have real bans coming out this time from the side of FLB, and on the side of GZG, they're just going to go ahead and continue with the A bans, just banning every champion on the A list.
Alphabetical. Hey, as long as it doesn't mess up what was actually picked, it doesn't matter.
It's true, yeah.
What do you so composition wise, we're going into this game 2. There is such a thing as mental momentum in this game. We see it everywhere from professional play to I'm sure you feel it in your own solo queue grind. Frank's Little Beauty's coming back from that loss. I think their mindset is going to be very important because I think comp-wise, they've done a very solid job. I don't see a weak spot or a clear weak spot in their comp. How do you feel about that?
So I think that the Ornn into Shen matchup is going to be a bit of a handshake, if not maybe Shen favored early, but as soon as Ornn is able to pick up some armor and work his way towards the Abyssal Mask, he's not going to have any problem in that lane. It's definitely not a side lane threat for sure, unless something absolutely terrible happens. The Ivern into Zac matchup, Zac can be a lot more proactive in the early game, and Ivern has to track the Zac where he goes and try to look for counter ganks. The Orianna into Azir, again, just kind of another handshake lane, similar to top lane. The most volatile lane of all is going to be the Ashe, Varus, Leona, Zyra lane. And even that lane, outside of, Zyra and Leona kind of biting at each other, the win conditions of both Ashe and Varus are going to be, again, if we're seeing the on-hit variant of Varus, which considering they have a Zac and a Shen, you might want to see, but you never know. You may also take the lethality. If he does go lethality, though, it does take away from the late game damage. So I imagine we're going to see the on-hit variant again. They're just going to be wanting to handshake the lane as well. This is like a cull lane. This is a cull game. Everybody in this game could just go ahead and start cull, and everyone's really happy about it, except for maybe Zac and Zyra.
Right.
Everybody's willing to just go ahead and handshake this, and it'll be interesting to see how the team coordination and communication works out to contest early objectives. I don't anticipate any fights early, but of course, this ain't LCS. This is low budget LCS, and this is the NA League. So I imagine some shenanigans are probably going to go down. My
Absolutely.
my question for you is obviously the scaling advantage is on the side that has an Ornn, Azir, and Varus.
Mm.
You've talked a lot about how you like the composition on the side of Frank's little beauties. How do you see them conducting their team fights to go ahead and win out against the on-hit prowess that's going to be coming down from GZG?
Absolutely. I mean, getting onto the Varus, getting onto the Azir, these sources of damage, you know, of course, they've got a couple of options, obviously. Uh, the dream scenario in my mind is an Ashe ult from downtown, just for style points, uh, locking somebody up, following that up with Zac jumping in, maybe even a Shen on top of him just to get a second target in there, Ori
Mhm.
ball into the back line, full ult. I mean, they've just got a lot of great chain CC with a tremendous amount of damage that they can pour on.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I just think as long as they can nail those engages, whether it is in the form of Zac jumping onto somebody, a surprise Orianna ult, an Ashe ult, Zyra just locking people up, I think there's a lot of synergy there in the 5v5, and then they've also got a tremendous pick composition as well, just purely off of the Ashe arrow. Um, and so, yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to, I think, once again, these objective plays. Ground Zero Gaming showed us, like, they're not going to shy away from that territory. They were very assertive in grabbing all of those dragons. I believe only a Rift Herald went to the side of Frank's Little Beauties last game. And hey, maybe the extra vision from Ashe will contribute to being able to fight against that. But that wasn't really why they lost those objectives. They lost those objectives because GZG beat them in 3 lanes and was just able to push their weight around the map where they needed it.
Mhm.
So it's gonna come down to these lanes again, maybe. You know,
Yeah.
we'll see.
If any of them can pull ahead, you have a really good point that the pick tools available on Frank's Little Beauties are numerous,
Mm.
almost innumerable. Almost every single champion on this composition has a tool that can contribute to uh, killing a carry that's out of position.
Right.
And GZG have a lot of weight put onto Varus and Azir, the only 2 champions that actually do damage on their team as the game gets into the 20-25 minute stage. Whereas I think the damage coming out of FLB is a lot more varied. Zyra actually did the most damage last game for Frank's Little Beauties, almost doubling their intended carry of Yasuo's damage.
Hmm.
And with Shen being an effective side laner and able to piece apart squishies, especially bringing Grasp of the Undying, there's a lot more damage.
Okay, let's see. We should be back. All right, you let me know if we're back. Corey. Come on.
We're back.
We're
We're
back!
in the game.
Guys,
We haven't lost a single viewer.
I actually called that right in the very beginning. I was the Twitch channel that wrote, I promise you, I will make a technical error. And it happened.
Once per game.
Once per game. It's a quota, and we make it. What can I say? We try not to be overachievers, but, you know, hit it right on the nose. And here we go. It's the level 2, and it's level 2 you don't want. Leo tagging up the ADC. Ash trying to get some space here, but we flash over to another fight right here. Evo, first blood for the Zac. Lots of flashes. Ash lives. Gets some distance, and the Mighty Fool just laying down these auto attacks. Wow.
So this is already going a lot better for Frank's Little Beauties.
Absolutely.
Able to catch out the Ivern super early at his blue and get a solo kill on him as shenanigans happen bottom side. Both flashes burned from the side of GZG, while just the flash of Ash burned on the side of Frank's Little Beauty. So that means that their bottom side is going to have a lot more kill pressure, with Zyra still having flash available and Ignite on her palette. Just kind of tasting it up there just a little bit, saying, this is gonna be, this is a surprise tool.
It's delicious. It's perfect. Oh, that Leo spooked me a little bit. Walking up, just getting close enough to land those stuns. You got to be careful when you're in Ash's position of having no health.
Feels like a bit of an odd decision to go ahead and stay there from the Ash rather than just resetting right away, because you're low HP. You can come back with a little bit of an item advantage. I don't know what she's going to be able to procure for herself. Looks like it's just going to be Doran's Blade, so not a goal. Not anticipating a nice, easy laning phase, even though all the aggressive summoners have been burned on the side of GZG. She says,
right,
we're going to keep fighting. And
yeah,
it's going to go. It goes.
And you know what? That, okay, we got a little bit of a top lane fight going on right here. A Spooky Man knocked up, not that much health, an immediate flash gets him out. Wow, he lives in a dicey situation. Speaking of dicey situations, we didn't even talk about the Zac soloing out the Ivern. We did not get to see the start of that, but when I looked at these two junglers, I was not thinking of them dueling in the jungle. That's not exactly what I think of when I think of Zac or Ivern.
But I mean, when you have something like an Orianna Azir mid, a lane that's never really going to have push prio against one another, they're just going to be able to clear against each other. You've got a Shen and an Ornn in the top lane that really aren't looking to do anything until they hit around 6. Obviously, Ornn having the push priority here because the early grasp procs on Shen are quite effective. Orianna running out of mana.
Absolutely.
He's going to give Azir push priority for a little bit, but Zac is going to be looking to make things happen proactively. And the best way that he can do that is go ahead and invade, especially on the bottom side where he's going to have the support of the most volatile lane in the game. Faster rotations and things and tools that are available to him there that aren't available anywhere else. So it makes sense that he would be looking to either deny the Ivern CS or catch him in his jungle. Looks like he was able to catch him with his long Ivern pants down and able to steal everything from him and, importantly, escape with his life.
Absolutely. His leafy greens exposed. Oh, we got a little bit of a... You know, we had a great duel in the mid lane right there where Orianna was very patient walking around these sand soldiers and did end up winning the trade health-wise. But it seems, in terms of mana, Azir is holding on to just so much more.
Yeah, it seems indicative of an Orianna player that isn't really familiar with Orianna. You know, Buggleberry has a bit of a champ potion.
Hold on, we have a 1v1 that's happening here in the top lane, and it's going to be an Ornn. First, yeah, it is. And in fact, Spooky Man is going to go down. He does not have his level 6.
He misplayed that so hard.
It was a rough situation to get caught in for sure. And by caught, I mean he did start fighting that gentleman. But Ornn, oh wait, here we go, and here is another one. We have Varus. Okay, Varus has Ignite tugged down. Mighty Fool is actually going to get tagged up here, and Ash was stuck on the other side of the minions, and Ignite still chipping away. Poor Zyra, but Ash can actually walk up here. Okay, Leo's going to go back in, but let's see, Ivern is in the area. Can she get a kill? Unfortunately, no. The Ivern shield, heartbreaking. I would need to go back and look at that.
Fly away. Goodbye, Ash. You tried your best. You did not succeed. It was just such unfortunate timing on the cooldowns for that. As
It
soon
was.
as Zyra dies and ticks down to the last proc of Ignite is when Ash's heal comes back up.
Yep.
Just a bit of maybe lack of coordination, miscommunication on just how much kill pressure Leona exerts on the Zyra and the Ashe in this early game. So
it also looked like
Zyra's-
Ashe got stuck on the minions just a little bit on the far side of the wave.
able to rotate to be there in time to help out Leona for sure.
Absolutely. And now we've got Ground Zero Gaming in the lead again. Only 7.5 minutes in, and no Drakes have been taken. We see some pings on it right now. I think... Okay, how important do you think these... Sorry, they are on it immediately as we're talking about it. Okay, obviously Ground Zero Gaming in the lead right now. We're missing some level 6s. Zyra, of course, not level 6 here. Can they even fight this dragon?
So as far as the bottom lane
A great Ashe arrow actually hits Azir, I believe, on the far side of that.
It just froze him in mid lane.
That's great. Hey, you know what? If you hit any target, I consider that a win. Maybe it wasn't the one you're looking for.
Hey, it's a big dub, you know.
Absolutely.
It's just weird. Orianna is looking to contest mid, but wasn't there to capitalize on the fact that Azir got Ashe ulted. It just feels very disparate. It seems like neither of these two teams are very willing to commit to starting the dragon. I would say right now, even with the 2,000, or rather just 1.2k gold lead coming out from GZG, I'd say still Frank's Little Beauties has advantage when it comes to taking this dragon. You know, Ornn doesn't have TP, but Shen still has ult. It's just interesting to see them shy away from it, because right around now is when you would want to be fighting as a team. Ashe, obviously, with that level 6.
Right. Oh, a great interrupt right there by the Zac. Well done.
Yeah, never really going to be able to kill this lane, though. I mean,
No.
this lane is basically a handshake. At this point, you know, they both have Bami's Cinder. They're just going to be pushing it into each other.
Hey, we were talking about starting that dragon because Ground Zero Gaming has started this up. Zyra's poking their head around. Spectator doesn't want us to see this, and I don't know who's colluding with the Spectator, but this is a secret.
And this is a free Drake. So FLB set up for the dragon take. They go ahead and they secure vision control and lane priority around the dragon, but then they shy away from taking the dragon fight, go back to lane, get pushed out, lose priority, go back and reset, and just give GZG a free Drake. So, and especially, it's a mountain Drake. That's percent MR and armor that you're losing out on when you have a Shen and a Zac on your team. And you're giving it to an Ornn, who's
a great Ashe arrow right here. That's the lockup. Okay, this Leo is pretty much stuck, but a flash. Okay, Ashe flashes over. We're getting all the summoner spells now. Well done. That's the downtown Ashe ult that I was talking about, and the pick that they wanted. Leo thought she was safe just because there was a wave there, and just took that Ashe ult right to the face. Unfortunately, is Shen missing this time in lane gonna be worth it?
Yeah. Shen going ahead and ulting there feels like a bit of an afterthought, more a guarantee that Zyra isn't going to die. I don't think there's any reason for Zyra to stay in lane. Obviously, Leona is dead. They don't have vision on Ivern, but I don't think that changes anything when it comes to this lane. And it looks like Zac is just going to continue trying to gain.
It does, and it looks like actually this fight in bot lane also at the same time, Ashe just too far up, does get locked up. Oh, the great Zac teleport play to let the Zac live for just a moment longer.
Looks like
my
Zac
apologies.
is unable to escape that one. That's okay. Sometimes you get a little corona.
Oh, here we go! Wow!
This is it!
Oh no! Oh no! So close!
trolling.
No, he's still going. Let's see right here. Spooky Man and a flash, and they do secure those kills. Double buffs and a double kill over to Orianna. That is fantastic for them.
It's one of those situations where you feel like if Shen just E'd and didn't go for the style points of using his E and flash at the same time, he probably just hits a clean taunt or blows flashes and is able to follow with the Orianna without expending that really important summoner spell. But hey, at the end of the day, he shows up. They go ahead and get 2 return kills, but it's not going to even out the gold difference. GZG still 1,000 gold ahead as a result of the turret plates in the top side, the no CS advantage actually being procured. So it seems like most of the gold difference actually centered towards the top side. So we had a great play by FLB, Zyra going very low, deciding to overstay there and not being able to contribute anything, but giving Ashe a false sense of security and being able to push up to the tower, getting ganked by the Ivern against a Leona who had ample opportunity to come back into the lane. As Zac and Orion have been sitting in this bush a long time. It's been a hot minute.
It has.
They are waiting.
I was about to say, talk about ganks. They, at a certain point, they've got to pull back because Azir's going to be free hitting on that tower. Okay, and here it is. I was going to say this earlier, but there are no flashes on the side of Ground Zero Gaming, and it is showing here both members of the bot lane caught out and locked up and shut down. Now they've got free reign on the bottom side of the map and a Rift Herald coming out.
So
it was worth it.
Feels really good. That looked really PogChamp. It feels like a very proactive play. However, they're not going to, I don't think, secure this tower in the bottom side. Maybe Ivern won't be able to actually contest this, but he's going to stand here regardless and apply pressure.
We'll see. It's going to be close. Leo and Varus are not going to be in a position where they can actually stop it, and they're actually going to turn this into another kill. Wow, when life gives you lemons, get a double kill. Leona getting slowed down here, but a teleport coming back in, and let's see, Zac a short hop, but he does go down. And Azir, an immediate flash. Can he dodge this? No, he cannot. But, the actual super clean, stepped back. Shen coming in, and they want this. They want this Zyra to live, and for good reason. They're actually getting a significant amount of damage down on this Ornn, and this Varus is going to be the one to go down, and Brix is actually super low. There's no mana for the Ashe W, unfortunately, and they are going to get the slowdown. The Spooky Man is being very spooky to these two. Such low health bars. Wow, Frank's little beauty, they pushed that to the exact limit that they could. And there were some misplays on Ground Zero Gaming, but they were like, okay, well, we don't have to pull back just yet. Let's stay. Let's see what happens. Cooldowns came back up. They fought at the right moment as they were able to kill that tower, and now they're turning this into their first dragon. We talked about momentum in between games, and they are getting themselves some, including the gold lead.
Yeah, the gold lead actually swinging in favor of FLB for maybe the first time this game. They're able to secure a Cloud Dragon, which is really important for their entire composition as far as the pick tools are concerned. And they're transitioning quite well off of the back of those numerous misplays of GZG in the bottom side to a mid-game.
And here we go. Mighty Fool getting a little bit of a lockup right here. Azir on the other side of the wall saying, hey, I actually can't help you. And the Ashe arrow once again from downtown. Can they take this Leo down? Yes, they can. And the kill goes over to Zac. But who cares? They got the Leo. Well done.
Yeah, the more money onto Zac, honestly, at this point, the better, because he's falling behind Ivern in CS, but his kill
100%
is
true.
Higher now. And he's going to be a lot more useful than Ivern from the position that he's in. He needs to get to his eventual first 2 tank items. Can't play as low economy as maybe an Ivern can with a lot of the support items being a bit cheaper for Ivern to pick up. So great for it to go onto Zac here. And I like what they're doing. I like that FLB are recognizing, hey, we have the mid-game spike now, and we didn't feel strong before, but we feel strong now. They're orienting their bottom lane towards mid so that they can go ahead and contest Rift Herald when it comes up. They're looking for picks on the Leona, who has shown that she is willing to overextend to try and get vision that isn't necessarily important or pertinent at the time. And Leona feeling a bit cautious, maybe feeling a bit averse to trying to make plays anymore as she's fallen behind 2 levels behind her counterpart and is the lowest level in the game by far at just level 6. So this Ornn Shen battle is just going to continue in the top side as FLB are intelligently going to transition into trying to pick up the Rift Herald. Leona waiting in the wings here. Not sure what she's
Absolutely, and
looking to do.
another Ash arrow from downtown does not hit anyone. But okay, Leo ult, it doesn't matter, she's low level, but she can still stun people, and this Zyra is actually taking some damage, and a flash over the wall. They will have their vengeance. That was a very determined movement, and a flash immediately from Ivern.
So I was going to say, that's a really suboptimal play to start trying to take the fight when you're a man down in mid lane, right before they take the Rift Herald. But I guess if you're going to win the fight, a man down,
then it's not a bad idea.
Optimal play. It's not a bad idea because now you have a very clear Rift Herald target to go ahead and drop it down as the whole lot of nothing continues in the top side. Ornn maybe trying to look for a kill on Shen, but
ooh, the back and forth, but here's the real action. Leona diving in. Okay, she's got more health because she's alive. The Sharuma Shuffle doesn't hit anyone. Wow. Okay, let's see if Rift Herald can get this.
Get one charge. They're too low to continue chasing this. So this is actually the culmination of what I was talking about earlier. How it was a suboptimal time to go in early and blow cooldowns before you had Zac available to try and support and help guarantee a lot of the kills happening in mid lane. And now you're all low HP, you have no cooldowns, you have no mana, so when the Rift Herald goes down, you don't have any feasible way to actually help follow that up. So you're going to lose topside pressure as Ornn continues to push in, and you're going to give GZG the opportunity to stabilize. There's not going to be an objective up for a little while here. Azir is going to continue to farm to try and scale. Varus is going to be looking to do the same thing as he tries to match Ashe, who is about half an item ahead of him, but the disparity is made up for in the top side where there's a 30 CS discrepancy over to Banks on the side of GZG. So the gold kind of evening out here, just a 1,000 gold difference again on the side of FLB, but FLB is the team on a timer. So let's see if they can continue making those proactive plays, looking towards this dragon to try and set up a fight, because I think that Ocean Drake is always a win condition. Ocean
Absolutely.
Soul.
Oh my goodness. And the other thing is just that this Orianna has the strength to do that.
It's what we were talking about earlier. It's the pick tools that are available. So as soon as anyone from GZG, those two carries that are really important on GZG, as soon as they come out of position, it's great that Ornn has, a 40 CS advantage, but there's only so much that boy can do with an Abyssal Mask and a Sunfire in the backline. He can only do so much sitting in the team and hoping they die to burn damage. So fantastic pick on Devarus.
Oh, and over the wall here, they are just able to take this Leona down.
Yeah, and it just seems like GZG are kind of falling apart a bit. It looks like that bottom side fight tilted them a little bit, and they're no longer playing around their win conditions. They're not playing careful. They're not playing around Fish and Leona, not able to really get in with the distance that Zyra and Orianna and Ashe provide as far as their vision control is concerned, to actually get the warding necessary to make sure that Varus has a safe
and here we go, a huge jump in, and this is it. The Ashe hits the target, and so many circles of damage. Those are the carries gone. Actually, Azir, sorry, still up, but cut off a little bit. A very nice slide, gets himself some distance, and he had to use his ult, absolutely. But the slows from the Ashe, here it is, a flash. Can they? I think this Azir is just buying time. Yeah, 100%. So that is another thing that we talked about, just the synergy of the ults, the picks right there, and, call it what you will. I mean, when Leo got picked before, I wouldn't say that was like a particularly aggressive position that she was standing in, but the leads that Frank's Little Beauty has, they are really, really pushing them. And the Smite, they even feel like they can threaten the Zorn.
Yeah. I don't know if this is going to be a very
I think they can do it. It'll take a while, and Varus is coming. And if Varus has ult, which he's going to...
Orianna dies,
Yeah, okay, now Zac a little bit separate. God, you can throw the shield so far. Ooh, Bug Sawyer maybe a little bit too far, and they really wanted that kill. I feel like they're laughing right there because, oh wow, amazing. Huckleberry Finn actually lives and gets the kill, and is Zac alive too? What is going on? Leona, a double kill for the, okay. That's it, guys. Forget everything that you've learned in solo queue or trying to play. Oh!
You die anyway. Why are you staying?
Oh my goodness! Yes! The non-stop fighting, the slows, the knockups, the Shuruma shuffle. Okay, Shen under tower here. Zach is gonna go down 100%. It is. This is a great game because it's more than a kill a minute. And
holy moly.
Frank's Little Beauties 4 or 5 times now has been absolutely rewarded for staying and fighting in insane situations. And they've done a great job of supporting themselves through it.
Sometimes I have to check my client, see what language it's in every once in a while, because I get confused. You know, I see these drafts, really late game scaling, 2 carry compositions. I say to myself, am I in Korea? Am I in China? Maybe, perhaps I've transported to the LMS. I don't know what's going on. But then Frank's Little Beauties continuing to fight, stay. It doesn't matter, making this game as dirty as possible as Leona looks to try and secure a red buff. And I remind myself, that's right. I'm in NA.
It's not about numbers. It's about spirit. And
that's right.
That is what this game has been all about. Non-stop fighting.
Reeks of spirit.
You know, and it's kind of interesting because with the constant chaos, Ground Zero Gaming could find themselves a little bit of leverage to come back and make something happen. It again would have to be an insane situation because Frank's Little Beauties has been so on top of these engages and burning down targets that are out of position. Like almost that Ivern speak of the devil.
Long legs, baby, long legs.
Long legs and a flash get him out of there, which yeah, he didn't want to be there at all.
Yeah.
4K lead for Frank's Little Beauties.
Exactly. This 4K lead is almost entirely on Ashe. She has a lot of the late game itemization that you wouldn't expect her to have for any.
Oh my goodness, so deep, and the Orianna ult. Goodbye, Ivern. Zach is big enough, he's tanky enough, and he knows Zach and Orianna have taught us a fundamental that is often lost in the lofty theories of League of Legends. And that's that you only need 1 health to be alive. And they push that credo to the max.
Statistically, if you have HP on your bar, you are alive. And it looks like this Varus is looking to give some away.
Wow.
Looking to give most of his HP away, gonna get out of there with a deft flash and a nice ultimate.
Instincts on point, but they say this is how they're going to fight. And Leo, unfortunately, caught out here popping a stone plate. And are they going to be able to turn anything around? Azir on the side, but a great knock up here from the Ornn. Ornn still taking damage right here. Auto attacks down, but very low health bars on FLB. And they back off. Oh, maybe not. Sorry, I should never say that.
It's NA. They never back off.
They never back off because there it is! Ivern down! And the stuns! The flashes forwards! The ultimates! That is a full ace for Ground Zero Gaming, except it is still a full ace. I thought that Buckleberry Finn was going to die, but he saved himself.
Perfect.
Incredible.
That was that
perfectly executed
honestly,
fight.
In the midst of that fight, just felt like FLB just slapping him with the wallet.
100%.
We got an AK gold. You can't beat us. And yeah, they're just gonna go ahead and ace the team. Honestly, really clean execution on the side of GCG.
Yeah,
great.
Absolutely.
And that may have been the most ideal team fight they're gonna get.
Completely agree.
You're so far behind, you weren't able to catch out the Ashe or burn any essential summoner spells from her early. Your Leona doesn't stay alive long enough to provide that CC chain in the back line. Your Azir doesn't have any in because he's not running lethal tempo for the late game carry. He's running Halo Blades, so he's got the burst, but there's nobody that he can realistically burst with a level disadvantage. Or rather with level parity with the ADC, the person he would be looking to burst. So at this point, it really just feels like a Baron away from ending. It's 26-8. You've got an 8k gold lead over the enemy team. And even though your composition doesn't scale as well as theirs, I don't feel like there are many options for GZG to try and help extend this game. There's nothing that's going to stop the steamroll of a Zac of all these pick tools running at you and saying, hey, we're going to find something, and if you don't give us anything and you don't contest us, we're just going to take everything away from you. They should be looking towards the Baron here because this game can close out in the next 3 minutes if they go ahead and pick it up.
Absolutely. And I mean, just with impunity, they start these fights. Leona going down to almost nothing in an instant, being taken down by that Zac. They are just able to make whatever they want happen. They did trade a lot of ults for that, but Zac jumping so far in and Zyra flashing in as well. Ivern still up, and actually Zac taking a lot of damage, but the Orianna ult comes back out and Zac has his passive. Okay, Ornn actually on the other side. Let's see the full teleport coming out, which is going to lock somebody up. Maybe not the ideal situation to do it. Okay, Bug Sawyer, but Ashe laying down these auto attacks, and Varus saying, no, I'm actually still here too. I'm an ADC, did you forget? Auto attack after auto attack.
Whoa.
Wow, and now they've got to back off. And that did not go the way that Frank's Little Beauties wanted it to. They got too cocky, went too deep. We're trying to conduct a full team fight on opposite sides of the map, or on opposite sides of the wall there, and yeah. Wow.
They were so partitioned from one another. Zac and Zyra jumping in rather than taking the game slow and waiting for the minions to push in. You also see what I think is a bit of a
a great flash in, well done, incredible. They've got some bounties to collect here if they can. Ashe doing a little bit of spacing, but goes down. Shen
looks like he's
is probably going to walk away.
Yeah, just going to go ahead and leave it at the Ashe bounty. But that's a huge amount of gold that's getting sent back into the hands of GZG. So, importantly,
yes,
again, the composition of GZG does scale better, especially if you're not focusing the right targets.
Right.
In both of those fights, Azir and Varus were allowed to live.
Yes.
And you're starting to see itemization mistakes coming out from FLB. Why Ashe has both a Runaan's Hurricane and a Static Shiv is beyond me.
Sure.
It doesn't really make much sense. You can be looking for an Infinity Edge, and that just guarantees the end of the game. It's not as though you're in any danger. You already have a QSS in your inventory, and it looks like you're going to be itemizing towards the Infinity Edge now anyway. So it doesn't make much sense. This is kind of a wasted item where you could have had a Death's Dance, a Phantom Dancer. Any of these items that would have been defensive choices that would have been good for keeping this Ashe alive, making her stay relevant in fights even without much mobility, and the arrows don't stop landing. But if you're trying to fight GZG inside their base, it's going to go poorly for you. So finally we see FLB posturing towards the Baron. As I elaborated on earlier, I think this is genuinely their win condition. Now, it's not as
oh, here we go, and I mean, an Ashe arrow lands again, and this Leona, unfortunately not able to survive, but teleport coming in. This is gonna be Ornn, who immediately has to start walking away, but they're in a corridor, and let's get some knockouts, because who's here on the front line? It is the Zyra, who does get melted down. Zac's in the back line here. Ivern super low, and an Orianna ult does tag and finish off that Azir. A flash forward. They want this. Ornn and a flash from Buggleberry Finn getting himself a little bit of space, and Zac crushes the back line. Truly a well-fought... God, that could have gone the way of Ground Zero Gaming for a second.
Yeah.
For a second,
That's
I thought...
failure of communication on GZG's part, because Varus was walking away from that fight as Ornn and Ivern continued to go in. Ivern kind of waltzing his way up there and trying to make sure that Ornn would stay alive long enough, and he's soaking up all that damage. You still had the Varus alive, who's got wind shoes and an upgraded Bork at this point. He's also got the Runaan's Hurricane, so he's dishing out a lot of damage, but the Baron just going to go over to the side of FLB without contest, as Ornn and Ivern die in the jungle for nothing. If a tree falls in the jungle and nobody's there to collect the bounty, is it really hurt?
Is it really inting? A truly curious philosophical question, and the kinds that we like to answer here on the LBLCS. We are seeing Ornn items start to come out, and you know, even though that did go very well for Frank's Little Beauties, Ground Zero Gaming is showing that like the game is not done. We're past 30 minutes now, and now we've got Baron, but we're grouping for this dragon. It is Soul for sure. But okay, let's see.
Like
okay. Oh my goodness. And here, maybe it will work because we've got Zyra locked up really well, and Ashe on the side facing this Azir. Can Azir take them out? It doesn't look like it.
HP.
Forced to back up, and this Bug Sawyer is going to be going down, and Azir finding some targets right here. They're forced to back off.
Yes.
Ground Zero Gaming do a really good job here, and a good Orianna ult, but only hits one target. Wow.
So we see the 5v5 coming to fruition for the side of GZG. FLB not recognizing that they actually have technically a weaker 5v5 if it's a straight up front to back, because it's 2 damage carries versus 1 realistically on the side of FLB. You've got Ashe in the backline. Zyra and Orianna are going to go ahead and expend all of their cooldowns early and may be able to do something if they're left alive, but only Zyra has the Leandri's Torment for the extra damage over time, and that means that realistically they're going to go ahead and blow their load, and if they don't kill you right away, they're not going to really be able to do much after that. So we finally see that 5v5 team fight coming to fruition, and at this point, it's FLB's game that they may have thrown. They could have secured that Baron early and just closed out the game, but it seems like maybe a miscommunication on their side, or an inability to kind of be definitive and say we're going to end this game here, means that they opt in for the Ocean Dragon fight, setting up vision quite well, but Zyra getting picked out. And
let's see. Speaking of pick out, the Ashe arrow misses when you need it to hit most. Okay, Zach may be looking for a fight here. It seems like they want to fight with a have Baron. Now, crucially, in that last fight, Zyra got picked. She was very far up, got picked, was not able to deal a ton of damage, was melted down super fast, and Zach wasn't really part of the front line. Like, that was a 5v5 in the sense that every member in this game was there, but they were not all fighting in sort of their fight lines and how you would imagine that they would. And let's see here. Oh, Leo. Oh my god, but they actually decide not to go back onto the Leo. Okay, Leo does ult, and here we go. Ashe going up, and she's going to get turned on right now. That's a... Oh my god. Will Ashe live? Ashe does live. And now Ashe needs health. I don't know if she can fight, but Leo walking up into a bush and just paying the price for it. That was really close, though.
At this point, you want to be seeing blue trinkets on everyone that doesn't have a red trinket, and honestly, the red trinket isn't essential anymore. If you need wards, make Leona buy pink. She's got 2 in her inventory.
Oh, hey, they see that this Orianna is really low, and I think...
What is this line?
Oh, an immediate flash from Varus. Immediate. Doesn't even want to play around. He's been hit by this Orianna a couple times now.
That's terrible.
Doesn't want any of that smoke.
It almost felt like the Ornn ult was what blew Varus's flash, because it gave him false confidence to go in there in the 4v5, and nothing was ever going to happen there, even against the Orianna who's low. That's not the priority target, right?
So, speaking of priorities, Baron is gone now, and I don't believe they got any objectives with it.
No.
They just took it off the map. They've got it still a significant gold lead. Oh my god! Now that is the combo! That was beautiful! Incredible! Okay, well, that could be game right here. It depends. It depends. Let's see. No
Azir
Ornn
still
ult.
has his ultimate, but there's no long-term damage because he didn't run lethal tempo. Again, you're just an Ornn and a Leona flailing around after Azir gets his burst damage down. It doesn't look like FLB are confident in their ability to end the game, even with the death timers extending out to 20 seconds for both Varus and Ivern.
2
Looks like they're going to be
inhibitors.
playing this tutorial mode back at GZG. Maybe a little bit of BM back. They say, you want to play tutorial mode against us? Fine. We've also maybe past the tutorial. I picked Darius. Did you pick Ahri?
Darius was my first champion. I played top lane for 2 seasons, and it was a grand old time. Both of these teams have kind of been giving each other the business in similar ways in these 2 games. It's just that Ground Zero Gaming finds himself in a slightly less worse scenario than Frank's Little Beauties was, and with a different composition. So this...
I don't understand how Ashe is she's just getting these ults for free. She's just sending them down, and they're hitting because Varus is standing in the middle of the lane, and she's hit 3 Ashe ults on the same lane towards that topside brush, where the support is going to be going from spawn to get into the Baron pit, in between those 2 bushes, the banana bush towards the side of the Nexus. She's hit like 3 ults there, and it's crazy to me that these keep landing, because it just feels like GZG are letting themselves get picked and die. They're taking away their own tools to go ahead and win this game. Azir has teleport. He's available to come in here, but not enough blue trinkets on this team to make sure that they have vision of this dragon when it starts, and this Ocean Soul is consequential, certainly. Maybe
Absolutely. Oh,
quintessential.
they are grouped in a tunnel right now. Let's see. Boy, a lot of fighting. Okay, Ornal comes down, and this Orianna is absolutely caught in the wrong position right here, and we do have the Orianna not able to finish.
We'll take
That
it
is
to
huge. That is huge. Okay, let's see. Leona.
Zyra looking to try and turn the fight, but again, just hitting onto the tankier members here. But Zach's still up.
Zach is still up.
With level parity, it's a 50-50.
It absolutely is. Oh, he flashes right over, and they don't get it, but they go for the skill. Okay, let's see. Ashe getting down some auto attacks right here. Let's see if they can fight this front to back. Leona walking back in. She is gonna get close, but not actually be able to lock him up. And Ornn here, this Ashe is huge, monstrous, flashing forward, auto attack after auto attack. Slows coming down. Are they gonna be able to? And a flash forward, and the lockup. Ivern goes down, but Varus is in a bush, and that's the flash taunt right there. That's the flash taunt that you wanted. That's the flash taunt you needed. And Shen locks up Varus for a very, very crucial second there.
Azir teleporting to base there, it felt like that was their last hurrah. It felt like you kind of have to take that fight as GZG, otherwise you lose. And Azir clearly not on the same page, not recognizing that he had to go in and go all out for that Ashe, and it looks like the Ashe is going to be his undoing as she just free hits on him, Shen taking the turret, and it looks like that's going to be a 1-1 series. FLB
Wow.
not to be outdone.
Not at all. Well done from both teams. God, that was a banger.
What a series.
What
a tight series.
A series indeed. Wow. Fantastic game. Sorry I was removed. Party. Let's see.
You've been removed from the party.
Yeah, this this stream has brought some interesting technical issues, but we persevered. Let's see here. Now, normally, we would do some interviews, but I have some work that I need to get done. So we will be unfortunately. Oh, you know what? Let's. Okay, no, sorry, I thought somebody was in community. So that will be something that we get to next time. Congratulations to Frank's Little Beauties and Ground Zero Gaming. Great showing from both teams. I mean, any final thoughts in terms of this series? I thought this was a very balanced matchup.
I think so too. I think that it showed that these two teams are very evenly matched. Maybe GZG more on the team fight oriented draft style teams, but it shows that FLB have enough skill on their roster with a lot of these comfort picks that they can put together compositions that can very effectively be executed and parlayed into a win. So a really impressive series from both teams and a fantastic 1-1 to close out the day.
Absolutely. And Corey, fantastic time streaming with you. This has been a ton of fun. We hope to have you back. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Farewell.